Today we'll discuss about data types of JavaScript. So there are two types of data types. One is primitive, another is non-primitive. Primitive means it can store on single value. Non-primitive means it can store multiple values. So the number, string, boolean, undefined, null, these are basically primitive data types. And non-primitive means object and array. So we'll discuss one by one and we'll give some examples also. First we'll discuss about numbers. So number means like it can be a number, it can be an integer or it can be a floating number. Okay, integer means हो गया जो basically 2 3 4 5 6 like whatever the whole number, that is called integer number, right? And another is like floating number. The floating means like कोई भी decimal number हम लोग ऐड कर देंगे, that is being called floating number. So if I declare a variable with integer means let n equals to 10. This n means is a variable and 10 is the value. So 10 as defined here as a number, it's stored into n. Okay. We can define also n1 dot 10.3. So that is basically floating number. Say like what are the data types of n and n1? It would be like number. The second is basically string. So the combination of the characters are being called string. String can be defined within the double quote or the single quote. Let's take an example. Str. So this is like empty string. There is nothing inside this double quote. It's an empty string. If I define str1 to Sachin, that means string 1 and string, they are basically the data type is string. Boolean means whenever we need some logical values, then we can use Boolean data type. Like let is right time I say true. Boolean डेटा टाइप का मतलब हो गया either true और false हिसाब से आपको डिफाइन करना पड़ेगा. तो यही पे मैंने डिफाइन किया is right time equals to true. तो इसको मैं बोल सकता हूँ is right time का डेटा टाइप है boolean डेटा टाइप. Now will come for null. Nulls mean जब कोई हम लोग वेरिएबल डिक्लेयर किए, राइट, एंड इफ दैट वेरिएबल जो डेटा है वह वैल्यू है इज ए एम्प्टी वैल्यू, देन यू कैन डिफाइन दैट वेरिएबल एज ए null. Let's take let city equals to null. That means whenever I am trying to set the variable city as an empty value, then we can define as a null. So the data type of city is a null type. So now we can discuss another data type, that is undefined. Undefined का मतलब हो गया like whenever we will declare a variable but variable के अंदर कोई value assign नहीं किया, so the variable is not initialized or like the data is not been assigned to that variable. So that time we can say that data type of that variable is undefined. So if I'll take an example, name. So in here, I have just declared that variable, but I didn't assign any value. That means the data type of name is undefined. You can check it here. The next data type is BigInt. तो बिग इंटीजर का मतलब हो गया जहाँ पे हम लोग का नंबर बहुत बड़े नंबर है. It's a big number. Then we can define that variable as a big int. Okay. Suppose we have defined like n the number, right? T equals to, so it's a big number. The T will be defined like a big int. See, So whenever we'll write n at the end of the number, then that variable will be declared as a BigInt, or the data type of that variable is a BigInt. Okay. Now you can discuss symbol. सिंबल हम लोग ज़्यादा यूज नहीं करते, बट फिर भी symbol is basically it gives unique identifier for an object. That's why we use symbol. Let's take an example. If we have taken S1 symbol, so symbol, so we have created two symbol with the same string, like with the same name. So in here the symbol will basically will create the unique identifier. If we'll check S1 equals to S2, so it will give me always false, because they will create unique identifier. Now we can discuss about the non-primitive data type. Non-primitive data type means it's basically stored the multiple values. One is object. Object के बारे में हम लोग will create a session and we'll discuss more on that. But as of now, so you can create an object with the curly braces. तो curly braces का अंदर क्या रहता है, जैसे it's a basically the collection of values. Object is a variable name and you can store multiple keys and values, right? See, name, age to the variable. That's why it's being called non-primitive. Now if you go for array also we'll create another video session. Array means it will be like the collection of numbers, or collection of strings, or collection of objects, and it starts with third bracket and end with third bracket. In here we can define the array elements 1 2 3 4, so we can store the multiple values to the variable array arr. That's why it's being called non-primitive data type. Now if we want to know the type of the variables, then we can use the type of operator. चलो हम लोग देखते हैं एक के बाद एक, नंबर का टाइप ऑफ क्या है, स्ट्रिंग का टाइप ऑफ क्या है. So console.log type of n1 see the both and type ofs are coming number. It's correct. Okay. Now we'll go for string. Type of str and str1. See the type of str and str1 are coming string. Now we'll go for Boolean. I want to check the type of is right time. Then I have to give this variable name with type of. See, it came Boolean. Now if I want to check the type of city, it is given object, because null is derived from the object. We'll discuss more on this later. Now if we'll check the type of name, see it is giving undefined. Now I want to check the type of t, it is giving big int. Correct. Now if I want to check type of this one, it is giving symbol. Correct. Then if I want to check the type of object, obviously it will give the object. If I check the type of ARR, it also gives the type of object. Now if you go for the memory representation, we can check it here. So this is the stack memory and this is the heap memory. Stack memory means like whenever we want to store the value last in first out or first in last out. So in here, if I declare a equals to 10, basically this is the primitive data type. So for the primitive data type, it uses the stack memory. For the non-primitive data type, it uses the heap memory. Whenever we declare a equals to 10 means it creating a box inside the stack and we can store the value to that variable. Same like whenever we will declare a string a1 with the value of Dhoni, that means we can store the value Dhoni to the a1. But for the non-primitive, the like whenever we have declared an object and in here we have created some key value pairs, then the object can be stored like a heap memory. So it's a basically contiguous memory. Thank you guys for watching the video. We will meet in the next session.